Are you able to see my screen, ma?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes, ma. Yesterday we have completed the unit 1, that is financial services and introduction, right? So today we are going to discuss unit 2 and unit 3. That unit 2 is fund-based financial services and unit 3 is fee-based financial services. Yesterday we have completed the elementary aspects of financial services, right? Yeah. In unit 2, what are the concepts we are going to discuss? This unit 2 is fund-based financial services. Under this, we are going to discuss what is fund-based financial services, meaning of fund-based financial services, types of fund-based financial services like equipment leasing, hire purchase, consumer credit, bill discounting, venture capital, house finance, factoring, and forfeiting, mutual funds, insurance services. These are the things we are going to. These are the things we are going to discuss in the today's session, right? Right. What do you mean by fund-based financial services? The financial services offered by different financial intermediaries can be classified into two categories. That already, as I said, they are fund-based financial services and fee-based financial services. Are you able to see my screen, ma? This introduction slide? Yes, ma. Are you able to see introduction slide?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So fund-based financial services and fee-based financial services. This way of classification is purely based on movement of funds. Further, the financial services can be classified into two more broad categories like retail financial services and wholesale financial services. We have to discuss what is retail financial services, what is wholesale financial services, right, ma? So the based on the movement of funds, we are classified the financial markets into fund based as well as fee based. Similarly, we are classified the financial services, okay, as wholesale financial services as well as retail financial services. Yesterday, I said the difference between fund based as well as fee based. But we have to know what is retail financial services, what is wholesale financial services, right? That things I'm going to explain now, right? Seema, here retail financial services are the services offered to retail customers, right? The retail financial services are services offered to retail customers like individuals, small, medium scale enterprises in the form of accepting deposits and giving loans to borrowers, investment of funds in various assets like shares, debentures, mutual funds, and insurance, etc. Means the retail services are given to individuals, small companies, medium scale companies by accepting deposits and giving loans and investment of funds in various assets like shares, debentures, mutual funds, insurance, right? Whereas wholesale See, whereas wholesale, right? Here we have one more. That is what amma wholesale. Just I said retail, right? The retail services are offered to individuals, small and medium companies. And if you come to wholesale financial services, to whom it will be offered. See, just a minute. Yeah. The wholesale financial services are offered to corporate, and the size of the loan is larger than retail loans. Means if the financial services offered to individuals, small, medium scale enterprises, right, by accepting deposits and giving loans to them. The size of loan is very small if you compare with wholesale, whereas the wholesale financial services are offered to, whereas the wholesale financial services are offered to corporates, and the size of the loan is very large. So what it includes, what the wholesale financial services includes, they includes merchant banking services, underwriting services, debt and equity issues, banker to an issue, debenture trustees, portfolio managers, lease financing, hire purchase, factoring, and forfeiting. These are the what ma wholesale financial services, right? Now, types of fund-based financial services, right? Let's see. I said yesterday the classification fee-based and fund-based, right? Now, what are the fund-based financial services? What are the types of fund-based financial services that we need to discuss now, right? See what? The fund-based financial services are the methods that are driven by assets of companies. The asset includes like current assets as well as fixed assets. The current assets are like account receivables, inventory, and fixed assets are plant and machinery, or we can say capital expenditure, right? Means the fund based financial services are the methods that are driven by assets. So generally fund based financial services, we, right, we have current assets as well as fixed assets, means the capital expenditure loans which are used for current assets like account receivable, inventory, and the same is used for plant and machinery. Plant and machinery, right? Right. Now we'll discuss the types of fund-based financial services. Here are some important types of fund-based financial services are listed, like lease financing, or we can say equipment leasing, hire purchasing.
Change the slide.
Yeah, are you able to see types of fund-based financial services slide?
No, sir.
No? Okay, okay. I'm going to change. Wait. Now, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Types of fund-based financial services. What are the types of, or what are the various fund-based financial services? Right, ma? Here we have a list. Lease financing, or we can say equipment leasing. Next, hire purchasing, consumer credit, factoring and forfeiting, venture capital financing, housing finance, bill discounting, right? These are the various fund-based financial services, right? In this, we are going to discuss the first one, that is equipment leasing. By name itself, it is saying equipment leasing, means A lease transaction is a commercial agreement whereby an equipment owner or manufacturer conveys to the equipment user the right to use the equipment in return of lease rental. That means the owner of the equipment will give the right to the person to use that equipment. For that, he will expect some return. The return is nothing but lease rental. What we can say? The return is nothing but lease rental. Right. See, here the lease may be different types and concept has been aspects of legal accounting, fiscal, economic, and marketing aspects. Legal and tax implications are the most important aspects in the lease agreement. Broadly, there are two classes of lease: long-term finance lease and short-term operating lease. These lease may pass the ownership or not. These lease may pass the ownership or not. And maybe an internal or international transaction. The transaction may be domestic transaction, the transaction may be international transaction. The terms of lease depends on nature of the equipment like consumer good or capital goods. For consumer goods, we have some other terms. For capital goods means like machinery or other, we have some other norms, right? See, the lease is two types. One is financial lease and operating lease. The financial lease is also called as capital lease. What we can say? The financial lease is also called as capital lease. And we have another lease that is what operating lease. What do you mean by financial lease? That we have to discuss. See, in financial lease, the leaser transfers. Leasers means the person who is giving the equipment to another person is called as leaser. The leaser transfers the risk and reward incident to the ownership of the equipment to the leasee, but the title may or may not be transferred to the lessee. Rentals are payable in installments. So, as to cover the cost of the equipment plus a reasonable interest on funds invested in purchase or manufacture of equipment. Thus, the financial lease involves financing the equipment purchased and lending it out to the lessee for use of without transfer of ownership. Means without transferring the ownership, whatever the equipment is there, that equipment is given to another person. The person may use the equipment and he will make some payment to the leaser. Means the person who is transferred the equipment, who is given the equipment to another person. So this happens in finance lease. And if you come to operating lease, in operating lease, all risk and rewards. So here what he is transferring? He is transferring all the risk and rewards. Incidental ownership are not transferred to the lessee. Means but involves only short-term hire of the equipment with the ownership resting with the leaser. Such short-term operating lease prevalent in the use of motor car, computers, aircraft, etc. Means the financial lease is a long-term, whereas operating lease is short-term. So this is what the types of leases. Next, we need to discuss one more, that is hire purchase. This is also fund-based financial services. The hire purchase finance is a type of installment credit. What we can say is a type of installment credit. Under this method of selling goods are let out on hire by a finance company to the hire purchase customer. So see, we will discuss in depth. The Hire Purchase Act 1972 has given a definition, that is, as an agreement under which goods are let out on hire and under which the hirer has the opinion to purchase them in accordance with the terms of the agreement. Hire purchase finance is a type of installment credit. Under this method of selling, goods are let out on hire by finance company to the hire purchase customer. The hirer means the customer will agree to pay periodical installments to creditor. The ownership of the asset resides with the creditor and it will be transferred to the hirer after payment of the last installment on the asset. For example, here I am going to purchase a computer. I'm going to purchase a computer, right? In hire purchase method, what happens? After making all the payments, only the customer will get ownership on the product. Means first he will take the asset and he has to make monthly installments. After paying all the installments, after making all the installments, after making all the installments, the customer means the hirer, the purchase customer will get the ownership on the asset. The content of the hire purchase agreement. So in this agreement, what are the things we have? See, possession of goods delivered to hirer by the owner for the use by the farmer. The ownership lies with person lending. Involves a credit to hirer by the owner on the condition that a rent is paid by the farmer to the latter. Rental includes both principal and interest. Each installment treated as a hire charges. The ownership property goes to the hirer on the payment of last installment as agreed upon. Hirer vests with the option of termination of hire purchase agreement